Hey, what's up? Welcome back to another post-fight show on the Mandatory. Remember, if you like the content, hit that like and subscribe button. Shout out to everybody that already has. And if you haven't, please do. It helps the channel grow. Thanks so much for hanging out with us on this very late Saturday. If you're on the East Coast, it's already Sunday morning, essentially. So we do appreciate you rocking with us. You can also follow us as well at the Mandatory TKO. And you can find us on the audio side as well. So make sure wherever you get your shows, podcasts, find us on there and leave a rate and review. Maybe give us a 5-star. Lots to get into. Crazy fight weekend, crazy sports weekend.
You've seen Rafael Espinoza. He also had a title defense before this, but I mean, what is his next move? Because we're talking about 140 being a mess. 126. I mean, I won't say it's just as messy, but like Angelo Leo getting a title in this weight class in shocking fashion
Angelo
recently.
Leo, though, I mean, listen, he's been in the ring with some dogs. You know what I mean? Angelo Leo is one of those names.
Ray
I,
Ford
I,
had a shot, and then Nick Ball is champion now, and Nick
I,
Ball honestly could fucking test anybody in this weight class.
I think that's the fight. Rafael Espinoza and Nick Ball. I think that's the fight that we all want to see. I know me and Brian would be down for that one.
Oh my
Um,
god. I'm demanding a post fight live if we get Nick Ball versus Rafael Espinoza.
how would you feel about Shushu getting an opportunity against a Rafael Espinoza?
Ooh.
Because is it time for Shushu to get that shot? That's a
Hmm.
fight that they could have in New York, right?
Sure. I mean, if I'm Rafael Espinoza, I don't know if I want that
Yeah.
necessarily. Just giving up that advantage. But I think Bruce Carrington was unspectacular 2 fights ago. Did better in his last fight, but I mean, it wasn't. It was very low profile because it was on the undercard, like the non-broadcasted version of the Netflix. Amanda
Mhm.
Serrano, Katie Taylor, Mike Tyson, Jake Paul, just sort of mishmash or whatever the case may be. And Bruce Carrington, like he didn't even make the Netflix part of the card. He was on. I think they put that on YouTube. So I don't think he should get a title shot next. Um, but I do think he's going to get one in 2025.
So isn't Cool Boy Steph and Brandon Figueroa set to fight again?
Supposedly,
So
let me check if that's
I don't
official.
know if that's for sure, but as you know, in the first fight, a lot of people thought the Heartbreak Kid won. I didn't. I had it 8 rounds to 4. I thought Cool Boy won,
I thought he
but
did too.
I think I think that would actually be an exciting fight. Brandon
They're
Figueroa
fighting
and
again.
Rafael.
They're
Yeah.
fighting again.
So I think Rafael Espinoza could actually wait for the winner of that if he wanted to, or if he wants to stay busy, he could fight a Ray Vargas.
Top rank and PBC. That's the other piece of it. It's like
Yeah.
I don't like since all the other big promoters seem to be doing business over there because like Top Rank is not necessarily like they're not part of the zone yet, but them Matchroom, Golden Boy are all like kind of working together through like Riyadh and shit like that. PBC ain't doing any of that. So I don't know how much crossover there's going to be. I think
Yeah.
the guys who are PBC fighters that wind up in that world just leave PBC, like Isaac Cruz, for example, and Boots Ennis, for example, who jumps over to Matchroom.
So I think there's pros and cons, and this is kind of a separate topic, but there's pros and cons of Top Rank possibly going to DAZN because then they're still kind of under a banner where I think they could work with each other and have those fights on that network. But I also think it's bad for the sport of boxing because not everyone has DAZN, and there's a lot of fights that people miss because they're on DAZN. And I mean, what if Top Rank went to Netflix?
Oh, I'd rather that. I
Yeah.
don't like we've talked about this on the show, and I don't commenters, please. Like, do y'all like the Zone as an app? Like, not even just like because they have boxing or whatever, just as an app, as a functional app. Do you like their presentation of boxing? Do you like the colors, the commentators? Like, do you like how they present their fights, how they do everything? The people that like to me, ESPN's broadcasts, and it's ESPN, so duh, but it just feels bigger. Nothing's gonna
Yeah.
feel like HBO and Showtime. Like nothing's good. Like that was the peak. Like we fucking peaked 7, 8 years ago Probably actually long before that. But you get what I'm saying. Now it's just like I don't want DAZN to have everything, because I just feel like, like, really, ESPN is not going to have boxing now, even though they're just
Yeah,
completely
it's
leaning into, like, hey, we're a sports rights company. Like, that's a bad sign for the sport, in my opinion.
yeah. So I've had DAZN for an extremely long time. I initially got it for NFL Sunday Ticket because if you were in Canada, that's how you got NFL Sunday Ticket was you got DAZN. So the boxing and everything just got added in there, and I was like, okay, this is dope. As an app, it lags a little bit at times, but it's not bad. Like I love it. I love coming home and being like, yo, I could just hop on DAZN and watch boxing. Like I did that today with Liam Parra and Richardson Hitchens. Easy. Do I like the presentation and like working in media? I can already tell what type of presentation it is and like what
Mhm.
goes into it in terms of budget and stuff like that,
Mhm.
having worked in TV a lot. So I don't think it's like they don't have the same glitz and glamour that ESPN does. Like I can already see the broadcast and I can see how much they're putting into it. However, it's not the worst, right? I think the best thing that could happen in boxing is for it to be more accessible. And I think if it went to like a Netflix or something, it would be. So my hope is if they do leave ESPN, which I think would be terrible for the sport, and I think it would suck. I think it would be bad for ESPN too to let it go because it's top rank. I would hope it would go somewhere like Netflix, to be honest with you, because I think that would be its best bet. And we're gonna see football on Netflix on Christmas Day. So
They better get that right. We know
yeah,
who's performing at halftime.
Beyonce.
Did we even answer who Rafael Espinoza? Like, we can't. It's probably not going to be the Fulton Figueroa winner unless, like, there is some business to be had there. And one commenter did help us. Might have been Aldo Powell. That is the co-feature for the Benavides Morel card on February 1st, which, whew, we're doing a post-fight live show for that. Like, we're absolutely going to
100%.
try to. Isaac Cruz is also returning on that card. Jesus Ramos, Jason Rosario. Like, that is a fun card. I don't know who he's going to fight next. Just looking at you did mention Shushu Carrington.
That's an
Well,
easy fight for them to make. I feel that's why.
well, here's the thing about that. Rafael Espinosa is the WBO champion. What do we always say about Top Rank? The number one contender was Robeisy Ramirez. He will now drop down. You'll
Yeah.
never guess who is number two. It's Bruce Carrington. So, I mean, hey, maybe that's it. Maybe that's where we go next.
Hey,
Um,
it could be kind of interesting because they could give Bruce Carrington to Rafael Espinoza, and then the winner of that could fight the winner of, and obviously this is like if it was to happen, but Cool Boy Steph or Brandon Figueroa. And obviously like boxing, politics, and all that, but that would make the most sense to me, in my opinion. And what's
mhm.
going on with Ray Vargas? Where is he? When was the last time Ray Vargas fought?
Has he fought since the Nick Ball fight? No, he has not. So, okay, he had a draw with Nick Ball. He should have lost that fight. That was in March, March of this past year. We're still in 2024, but we're about to not be. So we haven't seen Ray Vargas in 9 months. I don't know. I think stylistically, I mean, Ray Vargas versus Rafael Espinoza would be fun. Does he deserve a title shot after losing? I thought he lost to Nick Ball, but he got a draw technically. Does he deserve a title shot? I don't know. But if I'm Top Rank, like, in terms of matchmaking, it's pretty smart.
That's a great fight. I'm telling you right now, that's how I'm like, yo, where's Ray Vargas? And that would be a fight style that I would like eat up. I would love that fight. And it's boxing. Like, when does it matter? Like, we just saw Oscar Valdez fight Navarrete for the second time. And maybe we can move on
Mhm.
to that now, Brian, unless you have any final thoughts.
No,
Um,